my name is Kim. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be showing you some of the canning that I did this year. So I'm going to be showing you exactly how I did my pears and pickles, and then just a brief sort of talk about how I did everything else. I ended up canning 50 pounds of pears, 13 pounds of cucumbers, 20 pounds of tomatoes, and 15 pounds of apples, and then I think I had 10 pounds of plums as well. So I will show you everything that I made. In the end, I had about 65 or 70 jars of things, so that was pretty cool. It was my first year canning. It makes me wonder like how I didn't do this sooner. I used to just let my pears and plums fall on the ground and like go bad because I had no idea what to do with them. I would give away some, we would eat some, but they went bad way too fast for us to actually use. So being able to can them has been amazing. But yeah, let me show you everything that I canned this summer.
All right, so today we are going to be canning pears and pickles. So I have a ton of jars that need to be washed. I hope this is enough because I just had the small regular jar lids and rings. So this is what I had. And we've got 13 pounds of cucumbers and a bunch of dill for making pickles. And we have 50 pounds of pears. So these all came from our tree. So they were free. And the cucumbers, hang on. The cucumbers we got off of Facebook for free because someone made their pickles and they had a bunch left. So we're gonna use as many of these pears as we can, and whatever we don't use, I'll give to my sister for her goats. But hopefully we'll be able to use a lot of them, and hopefully I have enough jars. So it's just a case of figuring out where to store this stuff after, but that's what we're canning.
So for the pickles, we started by slicing up the cucumbers, getting them into the jars with dill, garlic, and then we added some jalapenos to some, and we added like red hot chili pepper flakes to some of them as well. So a good mix of spicy and not so spicy. Then we made this brine to go over top. There's the recipe there: water, vinegar, and pickling salt. Then we heated up the lids and wiped off the jars, applied the lids, and most of them just sealed on their own, but a lot of them didn't, and that's fine. We just stuck them in the fridge to finish pickling. And then started on the pears. So I used a syrup recipe that was 1 part sugar and 3 parts water. So it wasn't super sweet, but that's kind of the minimum you need to do to have enough like sugar for preserving them. We peeled and sliced up the pears, filled up the jars, poured the syrup over top, and then same thing, we wiped off the tops of the jars, warmed up the lids, applied those, and then they went into the water bath canner. So I think you're actually supposed to water bath can pickles as well, but my husband really hates mushy pickles, so we didn't do that. But if we needed to really preserve them or make them shelf stable, we would have done that. So we water bath these for 20 minutes, I think. Brought it to a boil, let it go for 20, and there we go. And we just took them all out, let them cool down, checked to make sure that they'd sealed, and put them away. I've tried some of these pears. They are super tasty. The kids are sort of iffy, but I think they will like them once they get used to them.
Right, there is how all my canning turned out. These jars didn't seal, so I've been eating them. These pears are so good. They taste just like store-bought canned pears, which I guess makes sense. We've got 2 jars of pickles that didn't seal, and then one that I opened because I noticed this on the bottom and I was like, oh no, it's mold. It wasn't, it was just salt, but I wanted to open them and check. So these are gonna finish up in the fridge. They'll sit in there for about a month or so. And pickles are good in the fridge for 2 years once they're done. But here's everything else. I did give away 1 jar of pears and 1 jar of pickles to people, but we've got 4, 8, 12, 13. So we ended up with 17 jars of pickles. And for pears, I gave away 1 jar. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 20. Ended up with 21 jars of pears. So I hope that really helps with like winter fruit, because you know fruit is so expensive in the winter. And all of this produce was free. And the jars. All I paid for were the seals, and that cost me I think $7 a package. So I paid like $14 to can all of this. So nice. So thankful to have fruit trees.
Okay, so I did a lot more canning that I didn't film, but I took lots of pictures of, so I thought I would share. This is the roundup of everything that I made, and actually I did make a little more applesauce after this, but whatever. So here's all those pears that I showed you. I did another batch afterwards, so I ended up with 21 jars. So I hope that makes a good dent in the winter months. I'm thinking like 1 jar of pears a week should really help with like school lunches and stuff like that. And then I also did up some applesauce and apple butter using apples from my mom's tree. Here's the apple butter. It's a lot like applesauce, just reduced more. So tasty on like toast with butter. I did plum sauce out of my plums. This is like savory, sort of not Asian seasoning, but like vinegar sort of. Yeah, it's good. Lots of applesauce here, and I did another batch after this using other apples that my mom had been given. I bought 20 pounds of tomatoes and I did 5 jars of salsa, which turned out so good. I've already opened up 1 jar and had it. 3 jars of tomato jam, which I'm saving for Christmas because it's super good on charcuterie boards. So I'm gonna save that. And then I also did crushed tomatoes that I forgot to show. I had 7 jars of that, I think. I did some pickled carrots, just a few jars of those to see how they turn out because my husband really likes pickled vegetables, especially pickled carrots. So if they turn out really good, I'll buy a nice big bag of carrots and make more. And then of course the pickles, which I've already shown you. So there's the roundup of almost everything that I've canned. Like I said, I've added a few more jars of applesauce. I think I made 7 more after this, and I'll probably be making more as we're given more, but I feel like this is really going to help put a dent into our grocery budget this winter, and I plan to do this again next year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.